Hello everyone, I'm Stephanie from the MVApp team. Today I'm gonna explore with you how we can use the MVApp to test for normal distribution. So we are talking about the data exploration tab. So normal distribution is one of the assumptions of the ANOVA test, and in the next video we will discuss how we will test for equal variance, which is the other assumption for the ANOVA test. First of all, we need to upload the data. And here you choose the column that contains the genotype information, in this case accession, and all the independent variables that you would like to choose. And here we will choose both treatment and day, for example. And we will use parameter as the dependent variable. Set the data and go to the data exploration tab. Here you can choose whether you want to use raw data or two fitted curves curated data or outliers removed data. So these are of course the result of using fitting curves to the data or data curation tabs. In this case we will just stick to the raw data. And then here we will choose treatment as the variable to subset the data and parameter as the phenotype. We can also split the graph if we would like by accession, for example. The options here are taken from the options that you entered when you were uploading your data. So when we uploaded the data in this video, we used treatment and day, and of course accession is also added, so you have accession, day, and treatment as your options. For visual representation of the data, you can have either histogram with count on the y-axis, or you can choose histogram with the density on the y-axis. And you can also subset the data even further. For example, if you choose accession, you can subset the data and show only the result for C24 or for Columbia 0, etc. You can show the figure legend or hide it for the graphs. And here you have a message that summarizes the result. In this case, you can see that control for Columbia 0 and the other subgroups do not show normal distribution. And this message is a summary of the Shapiro-Wilk test. And if you would like to see details about the Shapiro-Wilk test, you can tick this box. You get both Shapiro-Wilk test detailed and QQ plots. So Shapiro-Wilk test is testing for normal distribution. Under the null hypothesis, the population is considered normally distributed. And if the null hypothesis is rejected, then there is evidence that the data is not from a normally distributed population. And here you can choose the p-value for which you would like to have this threshold between accepting the H0 or rejecting it. And here you can change it. For example, you want it to be 0.01 or 0.05 or whatever. And here you can see that for control Columbia 0, the p-value is less than the set threshold, and hence the null hypothesis is rejected and the data is considered to be not normally distributed. For control CAN accession, the p-value is larger than the threshold, and then we don't have enough evidence to reject the null hypothesis, and as a result, the data is considered normally distributed. Here we can see the QQ plots, and you can play here with the slider to decide how many QQ plots you want to fit or see in your window. You can also download your plots. And here you can see that control 0 was not normally distributed, and when you look at these graphs, you see that there is probably a big departure from normality. So the QQ plot are another representation, visual representation, to see if your data is normally distributed or not. And you have the figure legend here that describes what is represented in these QQ plots. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, and stay updated with the next video where we will discuss how you're gonna test for equal variance.